Hi, Ted here. It's the 16th of September already. What a wow. Hey, I'm not making this video to show anybody how to do something. They ought to have a category for not how to do it, but how not to do it, because I think I could probably star in that phrase, in that category. Maybe even get a Golden Globe or an Oscar. Anyway, the only reason I'm making this video is I've got this wood. It's the same wood that I gave to Phil Anderson, Shady Acres Wood Shop. I thought it was manzanita. It's not. It's not walnut. I really don't know what it is. So I'm going to show it to you. Then I'm going to show you the bowl I'm working on. I've done a lot of work with this bowl. In fact, I think I have a piece on another card that shows this when I put some epoxy in it just to fill up some really big voids, just to hold it together more than anything else. So to make this really shorter than it needs to be, I'm going to kind of zoom in on these pieces of wood, and you can see the bark. And if you know what it is, Phil didn't know what it was. I don't know what it is. When I bought it, I should have marked it. I didn't do that. A lesson learned. But okay, let's take a look at it. I think it has a really neat grain to it. I went ahead and sanded this and put some shellac on it. Really tight grain. This is really a hard wood. The piece that this came off of, you can see how I sawed off a pretty good sized chunk out of it. It had a lot of big square corners, and it was just beating the crap out of me and the lathes. And I thought, you know, there's no sense in trying to turn something that's going to destroy your lathe or get you hurt. So I put it on the bandsaw. I've got this all set up. This table works really good. Here's a kind of look at the bark on this. It really is a little different than usual. Kind of reminds me of some woods, but I'm not sure what it really is. So if you know, in the comments below, let us know what you think it is. Years ago I worked with some Texas mesquite, but mesquite has a wraparound kind of grain to it. So I know it's not mesquite. Mesquite is one of those things, when you burn it, you really have to be careful because it has so much tension, stress into it, that it kind of explodes as it burns down. If you don't have a screen, you're going to be playing catch the inkets on your carpet. So anyway, I might show a little bit of this turning. Again, it's just to show you how tough this stuff is, and certainly not to teach you how to turn. I'm going to use my 5/8 inch bowl gouge. I'm turning at 767 RPM. Okay, it's going to take a while. Okay, I've got this bowl turned around. I'm going to start turning it at 971 RPM. Again, I'm not going to show the turning. I've got to get this flattened off, and then I'll get out the Forstner bits and open it up as much as I can. And I'll show it as I do that, and then I'll start trying to turn out the inside of this monster. It's really not a monster. It's what did I say it was? About 9 inches across, and it's a good 5 inches deep, I believe. So anyway,
a little bit
I'm having a
later.
real problem turning this, getting it hollowed out. I was using what do they call them? Master grip tools with Forstner bits up to 2.5 inch. Then I go to this Amana tool. It's a 3 inch, and as you can see, it's getting hot now. Here, it's really hot on this side, and this side is dull, even though I've been sharpening it. This side isn't as hot, and it is still razor sharp. It's like only one side's cutting. I kind of got the fear that maybe my problem is my tailstock isn't centered to the headstock. So I got out this guy. I've installed it. I can bring this up, get it fairly snug, and it goes in just like it's supposed to. It's dead center. So I'm thinking this is Amana may just not be good enough, because it has really, it smells like a campfire in here. It gets so hot. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the carbide cutters out on this wood. I know this wood is really hard, but I just thought I'd show you what I've done. I've tried to troubleshoot. Well, when I said this wood is hard, I did a moisture test and it ain't got none. It's 0. And I tested the moisture thing and it works, so it's really dry. It's incredibly hard. I'm using my hollowing tool. Being 82 with a bad back, this is I'm doing good if I can be out here for half an hour at a time, then I rest for a while and I come back out and hit it again. So this was a 3 inch opening. It's now a little over 4.5 inches, but that is over a combined hour of turning. It's only 3¼ inches deep, and the wall right up here is pretty consistent, but then it tapers down pretty good. So I've probably got maybe a fourth of what I've got to take out of this thing, if that. I'll just keep hammering away at it. Oh my gosh. I should have sent this to Phil Anderson. Okay, give you a glimpse of how tough this is to turn. I'm using the hollowing tool. I'm 1055 RPM. And I'm getting about 2 millimeters per stroke. As you can see, I'm just basically getting like, coarse sawdust. So we'll just check in every once in a while. Okay, I kind of have to give up using this guy. I've actually just been wearing these things down to nothing. This one, I don't know if you can actually see, I sharpened it, and it's a new one, and I don't know if you can actually see, but it's ground this down on this side. This wood is just as hard as I said it was. So what I did was I went to this monster and sharpened this one up. It's already starting to get a little bit dull, but as you can see, I've really made some progress. And I'm just going to keep going in like this with it and just keep whittling away until I get it down to where I can go back to using either this one, or I'll put in, I've got a negative rake that'll fit this one. I'll probably put that one on to smooth it out a little bit before I start sanding. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, I got it down to a 1/2 inch thick walls. That's good enough for me. Got into the epoxy big time, so I'm going to do a little bit more touch up, and then I've got the wall thickness really pretty good. I can feel this transition right here because the bowl has a shape to it. It feels good. So now, the thing about this is, you don't even need to scrape this. It's smooth, really smooth. It's going to sand out real easy. And that's too boring to watch. Okay. Took me a while to sand it. Got to sand it up to 800. It is one awesome looking piece of wood. And I'm glad I stuck with it. I got to tell you, there were times I thought, you know, the heck with this. But I had so much into the outside, and it looked so pretty, I just couldn't give up. I'm glad I thought last night, laying there thinking about it, and ended up going ahead and using the square cutter, because it went right through it really quick. Had to turn it a couple times because it just dulled it really fast. Still don't know what this wood is. This is just as smooth can be. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and start putting some finish on it. Same as the outside. Okay, I'm going to put the first coat of finish on the inside. It's called Waterlux. It's the original. Just let this kind of run around at 95 RPM. I see a hair on my glove, so I don't want to have to mess with it later. We'll get rid of it now. This is going to take a little bit of time to do this, I'm sure. It's going to soak in about as fast as I can put it on. I want to get a nice base coat on it. Let this soak in a little bit because this is the first time it's seen any kind of finish. And it is, it's soaking in, especially down here. This is end grain, so the bottom is really soaking it up. The sides not so much. And that'll do for now. I'm going to let this sit for a bit. Take the can over and clean the crud off the top very carefully. And put it up for now. And just let this cure for 24 hours, as it says. Could be one pretty piece of wood. You can see where it didn't get down inside of there, but I'll do that tomorrow. We'll let this dry before I turn on the air conditioning and the fan. It's already 88 degrees in here. I'm sorry, 78 degrees in here. That doesn't seem like much, but it's going to get to 104 again today. So I will turn on the air after a while. I may let it get kind of a little bit warmer in here, maybe up to 80 degrees before I do that. Make sure this has had a chance to cure out. Okay, it's time to kind of smooth this out a little bit. I'm going to use one of these gray 3M cards and then just kind of try and smooth it out a little bit, because that's the first coat and that kind of leaves you with a little bit of roughness, obviously. So we'll use this one. Smooth it out. Let's see what that did for it. Oh yeah. Smooth as can be. The white one is even smoother. There's three grades. You got like a black and this one's even smoother yet. The nice thing about these, they don't make a lot of sawdust. You may get some threads wrapped into the wood if you got any kind of voids or anything, so you got to watch out for that, but other than that it works out good. Putting on the second coat is not going to be any different than the first, so there's no sense in filming it. I am really, really pleased with this bowl. Okay, it's just smooth, smooth, smooth. And it's got a consistent, not even satin, it's dull now. So you can feel the grain in this light wood. It's just it's so much, this is really soft. And that was really what was making a problem. The carbides would even bite into the soft and then hit this really hard wood. So anyway, onward and forward and up we go. was a much lighter coat than the first, but I think it looks pretty good. It's going to take a third coat. It's really looking nice, and you start to see the depth of some of this pattern in the wood. They just swirl and go every 360, 360. It's almost like it's three-dimensional in a two-dimensional environment. So, enough for today. Okay, this bowl has got to be my greatest challenge to date. I think it's come out really nice. Got the bottom done, signed it. The inside has a lot of look to it. The light's not really good. I'll show it at a different angle here in a minute. Bottom's not as shiny as I would like, so I may have to work on that a little bit more, but it's a little over 7.5 inches across. It's 4 1/4 deep. I have no idea what this wood is. I hope when you see it a little bit closer up, maybe you can tell me what it is, because I don't know. We'll have to take a look. So, let's do that. The waterlux finish for me was kind of difficult, but I finally got it. I'm real pleased with it. It was a lot of work for me. Like I say, I'm pleased with it, so that's kind of what counts. I'll give you a look at the inside. I didn't get as much shine on the bottom as I'd like. I'm going to work on that. But this has so much grain, different paths to it. It's just unbelievable. If you know what this is, I would love to know. I think I've kind of got down to what needs to be done to make it work. And finally I can put an end to this video. Spend a little time working on it, get it out. Hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of room for comments. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, so what you can tell me to do next, I would appreciate it. 82. Yeah, you can teach old dogs new tricks. So let me know the tricks I need to learn. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you care to. I'd appreciate it. And leave comments. Have a nice day.